Welcome to Maddie and Me. Truth about breastfeeding, cluster feeding. What is cluster feeding, ladies? What is cluster feeding? OMG, they don't tell you how your baby will want to cluster feed when they're a newborn. Nope, they don't. Your baby just goes, you feed it, and then it wants to eat again 10 minutes later, wants to eat again. You feed her, you change her, you burp her, all that, and then she wants to do it all over again. Sometimes she doesn't even want to be changed. Sometimes she just wants to eat, take a moment, snooze for 5 minutes, eat again. It's called cluster feeding, and it's crazy. The good thing here is cluster feeding only lasts for so long, ladies. It only lasts for so long. It's truly only when your baby's a newborn. At least for me, that is the case. My baby, though, loved to cluster feed. Loved to cluster feed. Honestly, you just gotta give into it. That's my big advice here. Advice number 1, give into it. Make sure that you got somebody that's gonna help you, get you some water, get you some food, watch your Netflix shows. Just let your baby feed. It's tiring, it's exhausting, but it doesn't last forever, ladies. It doesn't last forever. It only lasts about 3 months, ladies. Only lasts 3 months. Whoo! Now, granted, that's a tiring 3 months. It's a super, super tiring 3 months. Unfortunately, a lot of times it happens in the middle of the night. And what do? You just gotta let your baby do it. It stinks. It's tiring. It's super tiring. But you just gotta roll with it. I had a really hard time not falling asleep with my baby, which I was adamant that I was not going to co-sleep with my baby. There were successes and fails here, guys. There were successes and fails. I tried not to fall asleep, but it was exhausting. It was exhausting cluster feeding in the middle of the night. But thankfully, she stopped and it was okay and all that. But you just got to roll with it. Just got to roll with it. Evening cluster feed. Okay, my baby stopped really cluster feeding during the day, and she even stopped cluster feeding in the middle of the night, but then she had this evening cluster feed where it was basically from 5 to 10:30. She ate off and on, off and on, off and on. That was from 2 months to 3 months that she did this. This was really intense, guys. This was really intense, especially because what she would do is she would doze in between this cluster feeding. So I think I'd have a moment. I think I'd be able to put her down, that she'd go to bed. No, she just kept going and kept going. Honestly, you just got to ride it out. It was tiring. It stunk. That was my least favorite cluster feed. I would be okay with it during the day, especially when my man was home on paternity leave. Even after he went back, it was okay because I would just have my computer, have my laptop, have my TV shows, and it was fine. But that nighttime one was so exhausting. But you just gotta let it go. You just gotta do it. Make sure you got your water, like I said. Make sure you have someone there that's gonna bring you dinner and all of that. And it'll be okay, ladies. It'll be okay. There's light at the end of the tunnel because really for me, it was 3 months of this serious cluster feeding. And then it gave way. It gave way. For me, Maddie still ate off and on at night, but I was able to wean her back on that, ladies. I was able to wean her back on that. And I was able to, after 3 months, kind of start to set a bedtime for her, which was good, where I was okay, I'm going to put her down and she's going to go to sleep. And thankfully she started to sleep. She stopped the intense cluster feeding at night, and I was able to get more of my life back. Cluster feeding, it's no joke, ladies. It's no joke. They don't really tell you about it. And honestly, it's super, super normal for your baby just to be eating nonstop for a couple of hours. It's crazy. Doesn't last long. And honestly, it will be okay. It'll be okay. You just got to power through it. Share some of your cluster feeding stories with me. Yeah, kids. Yeah. Welcome to Maddie and Me.